Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of AskGufish. We've got some questions, we've got some giveaway winners, we've got a new giveaway announcement all coming up. Remember to join our Discord. It's a great community and it's also the best way to get your questions answered. And let's just jump into it. Metal Leo 30 says, so it seems the teaser was for Kirk actually rejoining Gibson, and not only that, but still working with ESP. Thoughts? Yeah, how crazy was this? It kind of just broke the guitar internet last week. So Kirk Hammett of Metallica is now an official Gibson artist. Don't worry, the video interview and associated press release Gibson dropped had either intentionally vague or poorly planned wording. Exclusive artist partnership interview. It doesn't mean an exclusive artist partnership, it means an exclusive interview about a new artist partnership. It was confusing enough where Kirk himself had to issue his own statement on social media explaining that while he's now officially on the Gibson artist roster, he's also still with ESP. What a massive flex, by the way. Official artist for Gibson while also being one of the poster children for ESP. Those are two giants of the industry, the things you can do when you're part of Metallica. So yes, you can still get your 30th anniversary KH3 Spider. They'll still be pumping out more variations of the KH2, I'm sure. Stop the panic, everything's good. And it's actually not the first time Kirk's done something like this. In 2012, he had a limited run of signature flying Vs with the Gibson Custom Shop. This new partnership goes a lot further though. Watching the Gibson interview in its entirety, it made me smile. It's all good vibes. You know, when you're a member of Metallica, the biggest metal band in the world, you kind of play what you want. So it's pretty telling that a lot of what Kirk plays live are Gibson guitars. James does too, for that matter. Yeah, so when's the Hetfield announcement? Meanwhile, on the Gibson side, Cesar is pretty clear about being a big Metallica fan. Yeah, that's definitely relatable. Just spent way too much on my tickets. But the point is, to me, this doesn't come across as a cash grab. Like, Metallica has more money than God. And Kirk is just a genuine guitar player. Like, he gets so excited about his guitars. So let's talk about the upcoming Kirk Hammett collection. What has he played before? What are we likely to see in the collection at some point? First off, it's not like the Mustaine collection where it's Gibson versions of his previous signatures from other companies, right? Kirk is still with ESP, and Kramer is not involved. So point is, you're not gonna see like a Kramer KH2 or anything. It's only Gibson and Epiphone. Although with all Kramer's doing with the custom graphics and how much Kirk loves his custom graphic KH2s, that would have kind of made sense, but it's not happening, so we move. The most obvious is it's almost certain we'll get some sort of Greenie reissue. That's his 59 Les Paul, originally owned by Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac, who bought it in about 1966 for a reported $300. It was then bought by Gary Moore of Thin Lizzy. Peter Green just wanted it to go to a good home, so the guitar only cost Gary Moore the $300 it was originally purchased for. That's a pretty impressive resume for a guitar already, and it's got a price tag to match. The last time it was officially listed for sale, the asking price was about $2 million. According to Kirk though, he didn't pay $2 million, he didn't even pay $1 million. Wow, what a bargain. No, but I'm sure it's an amazing guitar, and real 59s are expensive in general, let alone one with a legacy like this one. Kirk's earned his money, let him spend it. Greenie's got some unique modifications, out-of-phase pickups, mismatched control knobs. That top is amazingly figured. It's one Kirk uses all the time. He posts about it a ton on his Instagram. It's clearly not just one of his favorite Gibsons, but one of his favorite guitars, period, making it an obvious choice for a signature run. And Gibson's already made him a clone. It doesn't look identical, like the aging is different, but the spirit is there. It looks incredible. He posted about it in September, so in fact, if I were a betting man, I'd put money on that being one of the primary catalysts for Kirk joining Gibson in an official artist capacity. Like, hey, this is a new Gibson, here's what the new Gibson is capable of, what do you think? So that might have been the de facto signature prototype. And my guess is it'll be handled like the Adam Jones Silverburst Les Paul Custom. There will be a custom shop run first with all the aging, a signed version for stupid amounts of money, a VOS for not as stupid, but still quite stupid amount of money. You know, the ones that'll be up on Reverb for twice as much money a week after the run sells out. About a year later, my guess is that's when we'll see an Epiphone version. None of the hand aging, but I think this will be one of those collaborations between Epiphone and the custom shop. You know, they already did the 59 standard. This would be a variation on that theme. Vibe, very much the same. Aged gloss finish, this time in the lemon drop color. Gibson pickups with Greenie's unique wiring and mismatched knobs. The 59 standard is one of my favorite Epiphones ever, so I'm already hyped for an Epiphone Greenie, even though nothing official has even been announced yet. Not sure about a Gibson USA version. Like, they're doing an Adam Jones Silverburst Les Paul Standard, which works in the lineup because the custom shop version was a Les Paul Custom. So for Kirk, maybe a non-aged Greenie? That's not quite the same. I don't know if they do that we're just gonna have to wait and see. Another obvious choice is Kirk's black Flying V that he bought in 1979. It was the first guitar he put EMGs in, which automatically makes that a landmark guitar in metal history. The 2012 run was based on that guitar. Absolutely no reason not to bring it back, this time with Epiphone and possibly Gibson USA counterparts as well, as opposed to custom shop only. It would also be sick if we got multiple finishes, like what they're doing with the Slash collection. It would be cool if we got 3 or 4 options, maybe 2 classic and 2 new and modern. He loves his red and purple Sparkle KH2s. Could you imagine on a V? And then the last Gibson I think is really iconic for Kirk is that ebony Les Paul Custom with blacked out hardware and EMGs. That's like the Nothing Else Matters guitar, cutting stunts, S&M. That's the guitar he's using for that song. If they do this one, I hope we get more color options. Like the black on black is a classic. It's also been done to death. There are so many guitars that have been done in that style, including from Gibson and Epiphone. Like if they kept it the same, it would just be like the Matt Hafey models, but with a blocky neck joint instead of an access neck heel. Or the Gibson blackout Les Paul Custom, but with traditionally colored inlays and binding. Yeah, it works. Not terribly interesting. I mean, far more interesting. Again, look to those sparkle finishes. They did it for Tommy Thayer with Electric Blue. If they give us a purple sparkle Les Paul with bone breakers, I don't even care. I'm there day one. So those are like the iconic ones. Kirk's also talked about loving his Les Paul Juniors and his 335s. And I think he'd be smart to take this opportunity to experiment with shapes he's not so known for playing in Metallica. ESP has the pure metal side of his gear covered. With Gibson, I'd love to see Kirk put a unique spin on a 335. Not sure what that would look like. It might not end up being something that I want to buy, but as a massive fan, still love to see something that's more unexpected. Even if it's just something stupid, like bone breakers and a semi-hollow, fuck it, I'm down. But yeah, overall, I am so hyped. I love Metallica. Kirk and James have had such a huge impact on my riff writing, my taste in music, my taste in guitars. Sure, it's the same for a lot of you as well. And I've seen from the comments, a lot of people are like, okay, this is awesome. Now, what about Hetfield? Well, there is a story behind that. At around the same time as Kirk's V, there was supposed to be a Gibson custom shop Iron Cross signature run. That's his heavily modified 73, and definitely a big reason as to why I love Restamod Norland era Les Paul Customs, got a 72 and a 74. But the reason there's only ESP Iron Crosses, apparently, it sucked to work with Gibson. From the man himself, 2 years of effort with no result. Now, that was the old Gibson with Cesar's sweet talking skills. There might be hope for a Hetfield run yet. We'll just have to wait and see. The thing is, yeah, James has some cool Gibsons, the 59 Standard with the Bigsby and the purple satin Les Paul Custom come to mind. But a lot of the Explorers people love, the Eat, the So Fucking What, the Fuck 'em Up, those are all ESP. Not saying they couldn't do Gibson reissues of non-Gibson guitars. They definitely have before. Looking at you, Slash. But seeing how much James values his relationship with ESP, even if he does do something with Gibson, highly unlikely you'll get the entire collection of Explorers you're hoping for. Back to Kirk though, because that definitely is happening. The Dave Mustaine announcement was cool. So much more hyped for these though. From the guitars he plays live, there are some obvious things we'll almost definitely see, like Greenie, but I hope there are also some surprises that catch us off guard. For most other artists, having signature lines from both ESP and from Gibson just wouldn't work. But with all the iconic guitars Kirk is known for playing from both brands, I see the Gibson stuff being more complementary than competitive to his ESPs. ESP does the modern shred thing, Gibson has more of a traditional flair. Love both, two very different vibes. Dude, Gibson, like, damn it, make one video about a Navigator Les Paul and never buying a new Gibson again. Then they go ahead and tease not only an Adam Jones Silverburst Les Paul Standard, but also a whole new Kirk Hammett collection. I'm gonna be eating the shit out of this crow. But that's just my initial reaction. What do you think of Kirk's new collaboration with Gibson? What's your hype level right now? What do you think we'll see? And also, what do you want to see? Any and all thoughts, leave them down below. Before we get into the next question, I want to give a massive shout out to Mark, Sinclair, and the rest of the amazing Patreon community that makes these and all the other videos possible. Really, really appreciate it. Pringle does too. It keeps the lights on around here. So if you want to support the channel as well, Patreon community link is in the description. Also wanted to mention, if you're buying gear through Sweetwater, Tillman, Reverb, and you want to support the channel, you can use my affiliate links. Or for the first time in like 2 years, a new merch drop is on the horizon. Got some excess inventory of the Guitar Line t-shirt. That's this one. So it's 30% off for the next week. Discount is applied automatically in the cart. The shirts are super comfy, highly recommend, and of course, it all helps out the channel. This video is sponsored by myself. I really appreciate you guys. Into the next question. Damien Wants a Music Man asks, have you seen the new Rainbow Crackle finish for the ESP LTD 87 guitars. Sadly, no single cuts, frowny face, only T-style. Would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, okay, no EC style Eclipses, but a carved top T-style, that's dope. I'll allow it. I mean, we checked out the Eclipse 87 NT together on the channel late last year, I think. Awesome guitar, and the way LTD polishes those fingerboards, insane. If you need a little reminder, the 87 series consists of the Eclipse NT, the M1 Custom, and the Mirage Deluxe, all neck through, Seymour Duncan pickups, Floyd Rose 1000 where applicable. They're LTD reissues taken directly from the 1987 ESP product catalog. So these were originally released in celebration of ESP's 45th anniversary in business. And probably like a lot of you, I thought that meant they were limited runs, last year only. Nope, they're a proper throwback staple in the core lineup. And to emphasize that point, LTD has added a new rainbow crackle finish option to each model. Also emphasizes the 80s angle of the series. Tight leather pants energy intensifies. Reminds me of like the rainbow drawing paper I played with as a kid. You remember, like it was black and then you'd scratch designs in it because there was a rainbow layer underneath. I believe the concept with these are similar. They do the rainbow first, then black. They heat it a certain way. The top layer shrinks and crackles in random ways. So each guitar in that way has a unique design, and I always love that. Like where you and I can buy the same guitar on paper, but they have their own individual visual identities, because each guitarist, each musician is unique, and it's kind of beautiful when our instruments reflect that. Now, I can't say I'm massive into the rainbow crackle compared to the turquoise. Like a lot of 80s things, it's pretty ugly. It's also very fun, and therefore very difficult to hate. A lot like the Limp Bizkit of finishes when you think about it like that. Rainbow crackle in the front, back, neck, no area left uncrackled. Interestingly, no stainless steel frets, despite being at that 1000 series level. Remember, LTD made the huge announcement of going full f***ing stainless for the EC1000, high-end signature models, everything like that. But I guess non-stainless in this series kind of makes sense. These are old school reissues. Still would have been nice, like 87 tribute models with upgraded 2021 sensibilities. These models may have been designed over 30 years ago, but at least with the Eclipse NT, it didn't feel dated. So therefore would have loved a stainless upgrade to keep it in line with the rest of the current catalog. Then again, those in the market for super 80s themed guitars tend to like their specs the way they made them back then, as I see all the time from, it has to be said, the angriest of commenters, so I get the reasoning. I also love how everyone's jumping on that 80s nostalgia train. Jackson has their own crackle guitars, Fender's HM Strat was a blast, Charvel, I mean, the purple satchel signature. Obviously, Kramer is so stubbornly 80s, it's borderline infuriating sometimes. But something all these guitars have in common is they're just so fun. Like, you know, these days, a lot of guitars, and a lot of guitarists, for that matter, take themselves so seriously. Then you got these LTD rainbow crackle things, the guitar equivalent of mullets, minus the business in the front. These are just all party. Subjectively, don't love them. Objectively, impossible to hate. But this is where I'll throw it to you. What do you think of the rainbow crackles? Already did a video on the Eclipse NT, which is my favorite of the series, but would you be interested in a demo of one of the others? This time with more rainbow crackle? Any and all thoughts, you know where to put them. Core Kid asks, thoughts on Halo Infinite? Dude, love it. The frame rate was very ass on my launch Xbox One, but didn't even matter. I just love Halo, man. Probably upgrade to a Series X if any stock ever becomes available just for Halo Infinite. By the way, though, this is a great time to plug stream. I was having a tough time getting things set up. Hit up my dude, Matt Hafey. Kichi Tech Support came through. Twitch.tv/Agufish, no schedule or anything, just hopping on when I can, playing games with other YouTube guitarists, answering some questions, kind of like a live AskFish. Follow, link in the description, it's gonna be a fun time. But Infinite, so far it was just a technical preview, the build is already a couple months old. Even so, there are a couple little things I hope get changed before launch. The radar is weird, for example, you can't see people when they're walking, even though Sprint only gives you like an 8% increase in speed. The plasma pistol, which has been around since Halo CE, feels very odd this time around. But then the Ravager is one of the coolest weapons ever seen in a Halo game. The Needler absolutely fucks. The shooting mechanics are so satisfying. I can't even describe the emotions I get when that Halo theme started playing on the title screen. Nerdy shit. Point is, I love Halo. I'm gonna be playing it a lot. Get on stream, let's talk guitars and play some video games. Iskari asks, alright, I know you made that Shell Pink EX84, it's just too you. Care to go into the thought process behind choosing the new colors instead of more generic colors? Yeah, a lot of people think that's me because it's very much my style. It actually wasn't. I know, very surprising, since I did have a hand in designing and speccing the updated Harley Benton EX84 Moderns, and you know I love me some shell pink. Like, I definitely have suggested shell pink for a lot of Harley Benton models. The shell pink EX84 Modern though, that's not one that I had earmarked. Now that I see it, I think the idea is good. The color is maybe a little subtle. If I were picking the colors, I'd have more obvious differentiation between the shell pink and the vintage white. Another new color is the Benton blue. That color looks pretty good on the website, and then on Instagram it's aggressively saturated 80s, so I'd probably have that a little more subtle. I'd love to run you through the thought process, but I have literally no idea why these colors are on the EX84 Moderns before the ones that I suggested. That being said, I have been encouraging Harley Benton to use, in general, more pastel colors where possible. Break away from the overdone black and white. But yeah, those EX84s are just great for the money. Mahogany bodies set through mahogany necks, ebony fingerboards with rolled edges, extra jumbo frets, Graphtec nuts, locking Grover tuners. €299 for the base version, €399 for the EMG upgrade. Funny story, if you check the product page hyperlink, you can actually see the original code name I was using for them. Shamelessly Hetfield inspired. And that first run sold out so quick. And you may have noticed a little change to the body shape in the most recent iterations that are now in stock. May or may not have something to do with a very lawyer happy company just doing that thing they do. But yeah, these guitars are great. They just punch well above their price. Turned mine into twin Metallica themed tribute projects. I'll leave links to those in the cards if you haven't seen that. They are quite cool. But yeah, in terms of the colors, couldn't tell you about the new thought process, but I love how there are more fun options now. And that leads us nicely into our giveaway winners. So up for grabs, 2 Harley Bentons I helped design and spec out, an Amarok baritone neck through EMG retroactive pickups, and an EX84 Modern with EMGs. So I asked you guys to comment your favorite Metallica song on last episode's video and on Insta. What I loved about this is that the answers were all over the place. You had the obvious candidates, Master of Puppets, One, Enter Sandman, Battery, the classics, but you also had stuff from the newer albums. Saint Anger is finally starting to get more appreciation. I'll be honest, Some Kind of Monster is one of the first songs I heard from Metallica. I know objectively it's not one of their best, but I genuinely love it. So you had those, you had comments about specific live versions. Metallica is such a huge catalog and they've inspired so many people in so many different ways. Just really cool to read through the comments. Anyways, so YouTube gets the Amarok baritone, and that is going to Peter Schaefer. Tough to choose a favorite Metallica song, but mine is probably Hero of the Day from the Load album. Yes, definitely feel you on both fronts, and that song is incredible. 100% agree. Glad to see that Amarok going to someone with great taste. And the EX84 Modern with EMGs is going to Sidam with... Yeah, how can you not love Creeping Death? That freaking bridge, one of the most metal pieces of metal ever written. Again, glad to see that EX84 going to a very distinguished gentleman. So congrats to the winners. Thank you all for entering, for subscribing and commenting. And actually, we've got another giveaway this week. So we partnered up with Fishman. We've got 2 sets of pickups up for grabs. You know on this channel, we love our Fishman Fluence. So tight, so precise. We've got a set of Fluence Moderns in brushed chrome, and my personal favorite, a set of Willie Adler's. Again, same deal, one set here, one set on Insta. I won't tell you which is which until the winners are announced. To enter, of course, be subscribed here, then leave a comment. Last time it was favorite Metallica song. This time, Willie Adler, what's your favorite Lamb of God song? Then follow on Insta, link in the description. There will be a giveaway post. Same thing. What's your favorite Lamb of God song? Now, this one is US only. I'm so sorry. I try to do worldwide when I can. Just couldn't make the budget work this time. But yeah, be sure to hit the notification bell, tick all notifications. Winners will be announced next episode, and this won't be the last time we do a giveaway on the channel. You don't want to miss it. And since the last AskGufish episode, in case you missed it, we demoed the Brendan small ghost horse, usually not too into Explorers, 24 jumbo frets, satin neck, Gibson USA pickups, a non-recessed Floyd Rose 1000 for $799. Very reasonable price given the specs. Actually turned out to be one of my favorite Epiphones ever, and I've played a lot. Then the Neural DSP Archetype Tim Henson, didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. Like, it didn't chug compared to the other Neural plugins that are built for the zeros, but man, I got lost in that multi-voicer. Incredible algorithm. You can add up to 4 additional voices to your main DI that you can adjust by root note, major minor, chord structure. Very powerful tool. Things got weird. Good weird. Came up with a trippy late night sad boy vibe thing. Links to both those in the cards in the description that you can check out, which you should do because now is the end of this Ask-a-Fish episode. Like, subscribe, bell, all the good stuff. And you want to do that anyways, you know, to win free things. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.